Welcome, welcome. Hola, 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 amigas and amigos. Welcome to another episode of Mujer de Éxito Unbounded. This is your show. Es tu show, right? And so I just want to say, this is the show donde we talk about everything that empowers, enlightens, and elevates mujeres, mujerpreneurs de todo el mundo. I'm your host, Marti Angel, aquí to sprinkle a little bit of humor and mucho wisdom into your day. Today, ahora, we are diving into a spicy topic. Very spicy. A ver, con un poquito de chile y un poquito de salsa. And today I'm actually trying a new thing. I got a new computer. I've got a green screen behind me. I don't know the camera well. This is the first time I'm using this setup to record. Mujerpreneurs, you know what I'm going through. But today, ahora vamos a platicar. Today we're going to talk about the culture and identity, la cultura y la identidad. Because when we begin to embrace your culture and your identity as a mujerpreneur, then your business begins to flourish. Why? Because you begin to use your business superpowers. Yes, you heard that. You heard it, and you heard it right. Today, vamos a explorar how embracing your bilingual capabilities and your cultural heritage can be the ultimate game changer in the business world, en el mundo de negocios. Así que let's get started, all right? So, thank you all. If you're just joining me, if you're watching me on the Coach Marti Angel YouTube channel, you can see my blurps and my bloops because it just, I don't edit it on purpose because I want you to see the real me. So if you're listening to me on the podcast, I don't edit that either. I do my best to stop the ums and things like that, but I don't edit it because I want it to be real. I am authentic. Soy una mujer de negocios. And I just, a long time ago, how did I get into business? I was always an entrepreneur, but how did I get into education was the way that I actually wanted to marry my business world and my educational world. So anyway, picture this, okay? Let's get started. Vamos a empezar. Picture this. You're walking down the street and you see two coffee shops. One looks exactly like the other. They both look identical. They're both great coffee shops. Ay, ay, ay. I tell you, sometimes se me van las palabras a veces, Okay. Two coffee shops, one looks exactly like the other. Same coffee shop you've ever seen. Yep. But one is a little bit different than the other. One is bursting with vibrant colors, playing lively music, maybe some mariachi, maybe some banda that makes you want to go and dance. I don't know about you, but I love the aroma of coffee beans, of coffee being brewed fresh. Ay, Dios mío. It just, be still my heart. Me gusta tanto el cafecito. It smells like your abuelita's kitchen on a Sunday morning when you used to go to your abuelita's house y que hacía los huevos rancheritos, las papitas, el bacon, whatever it was. But it smells like your abuela's kitchen, café de loya, on a Sunday morning. Now tell me, and be honest, which one would you pick? The only difference being the music and the aromas coming from that. Now, if you're anything like me, si eres un poquito, como soy yo, you're already dancing your way into the second one. Vamos para acá, a little bit of salsa, a little bit of banda, a little bit of something, and you're already dancing your way into the second one. Why? Porque es única. It is unique. It's inviting. It culturally speaks to you, and it's part of your inner soul. It opens up your soul. It speaks to that part of you that craves connection. It craves a connection to culture and identity. And that's important. We tend to gravitate toward things that bring us joy and memories of joyous, goings on in our lives. So that connection to cultura, to identidad, that, mis chulas hermosas amigas, is the power of integrating your cultural heritage. Allí está el poder cómo integrar la cultura y tu identidad adentro de tu negocio. So that, like I said, mis chulas amigas, is the power of integrating your cultural heritage into your brand. For me, it's wearing hats. People always say, oh my God, you've always got a hat. Oh yeah, it's got to be about hats. There's two things. I love fashion, right? But I love shoes. I love, earrings. I love wearing hats. But let's talk about a real life example. When we talk about embedding and embracing la cultura donde tú creciste, if you have some great memories, then it's beautiful, right? But let me ask you this. Let's just talk about a real life example. Have you ever heard of La Bodega del Mundo? It started out as a very small online store selling handmade crafts from todo el mundo, from around the world. But here's the twist, right? The founders used their bilingual skills to create a vibrant community on social media, mixing English and Spanish in their posts, which is something I tend to do, even though my coaches say don't do that. But as an educator, I know the power of the brain power that goes into speaking both languages, into integrating las dos idiomas. It's important. It's who I am. Even though my dad used to yell at me and say, hey, o todo en inglés o todo en español. And then he took it even further. Si te hablo en español, contéstame en español. Yep. If I speak to you in English, speak to me in English. That's the way my dad brought us up. Why? I now know that the reason he brought us up that way was that we had the strength and the power of those two languages strongly, equally embedded in our brain, right? So I can go in and out of Spanish and English very easily. Some people say Spanglish is saying words that are made up, like laquear, right? I don't do that. I don't laquear. I don't use the word laquear, which is actually a Spanglish word taken from cerrar, right? And lock in English, right? And I remember the first time I heard that, it was like, okay, that's real Spanglish. That is real Spanglish, because somebody says, ¿Y laqueaste la puerta? Did you lock the door? And I was like, oh, wow, laquear. And so when I speak Spanglish, I don't speak Spanglish in one word. I speak all in Spanish and all in English, and maybe I'll sprinkle a little Spanish inside my English, but I don't, I hate to say this word, but I don't bastardize the words, right? So the founders, going back to my story, that used their bilingual skills to create a vibrant community on social media, they mixed English and Spanish in their post, which is like using English words and Spanish words, right? In their live streams, they did the same, and in their customer service. The reason that I went with them is because they speak my language. They speak the way that I like to speak. I like to code switch. And that is, to me, makes me feel warm. So you're always looking for ways to entice your customers, to bring them in. And they didn't just sell products, they shared stories and traditions and a little piece of cultural identity with every story that they shared, with every item that they shared. And guess what? Their community, their people loved it. And it wasn't long before La Bodega del Mundo became a go-to destination for those looking to add a touch of global culture to their lives. And to be honest with you, that's what I want. I want to attract the people that want that little bit of cultura, the little bit of salsa, the little bit of sas, right? Into my communities, whether you're on a membership community with me, whether you're in my network marketing team, whether you're listening to me on the podcast, or whether you're out there, networking with me, that's my community, right? That's why I love what I do. I love working with a mujerpreneur, the bilingual, the mujerpreneur. It just makes me so happy. Now you might be thinking, Marti, that's great and all, but how do I balance staying true to my roots with meeting market expectations, right? Bueno, so the secret is, here's your secret, is your authenticity. Now, I'm being very authentic in the way that I speak with you. It doesn't take a whole lot for me to code switch. And that's who I am. I love it. Me encanta. It's almost like when I do it, it's almost like putting an exclamation point, if you will. When I say it in English, then I say it in Spanish. And I enjoy it. So, bueno, here's your secret, right? Here's your secret. Your authenticity is your secret. Your authenticity is your superpower. That's going to give you the marketing advantage that you want your messaging to connect with a wider audience, but never ever lose sight of what makes you well, what makes you you, what makes you la mujer de éxito, right? Unbounded. Everybody asks, well, what does that mean? Mujer de éxito means woman of success, and unbounded is without limits, right? So there it is, your Spanish and your English. To me, that is so works together. So those are the kind of things that are going to make it. The other thing that you need to worry about or need to think about is, what are your values? So for me, integrity, loyalty, being loyal, right? Never losing sight of your values in your authenticity, always being authentic. You begin to feel inauthentic when you lose sight of your values. So, for instance, if you're incorporating Spanglish into your brand like I am, do it with confidence. Do it with, gusto. Hazlo con gusto. Hazlo con amor. Hazlo con abrazos y besitos. Just make sure your messages are clear and accessible to everyone in your audience, right? So if you're listening to me, it's because you are one of those that can either speak fluently both languages, or you love the fact that you're learning one language and the other, and you're one of those, maybe you're one of those women that say, or person that says, I understand it, but I can't really speak it. You're my community. Welcome. So now let me get into another strategy that's going to work for you, mujer chula hermosa. Another strategy is colaboración, ¿sí? Now, I'm not going to take that out. I'm not going to edit that because I want you to hear me that even though I'm a Spanish speaker, Spanish was my first language, I'm an English speaker, and yo suis un little bit, okay, so I studied French, right? Je suis aussi a little bit of French, right? I studied it for 7 years. I lived in Paris for a while. So, but collaboration, when you partner with other businesses, or maybe you're looking to partner with influencers, but you have that notion that, oh my God, I'm going to have to pay them too much. Not necessarily anymore. Not necessarily, right? But be mindful about who you share your cultural background with. Who do you share your values with? Because when you are mindful about that, this not only expands your reach, but it also strengthens the authenticity of your brand, right? People know that they can come to me y que pueden hablar español or que pueden hablar inglés or maybe un peu français, right? Just a little French. But whoever you are, you have to know who you are. Does that make sense? You have to know who you are, because knowing who you are, knowing your values strengthens your authenticity and it strengthens your brand. I want you to imagine a limited edition product line that you have, or an event that celebrates something that you shared and it celebrates your heritage. Qué chévere, ¿no? For all my colombianas out there, qué chévere, right? I learned that from my friends who are colombianas. Qué chévere, ¿no? Now, what I want you to remember is this. Remember about storytelling, because storytelling is going to bring your business a unique story that you can bring into the business so that you can intertwine it with your cultural identity. Think about that. What can you intertwine with your cultural identity? Who are you? And let it shine through. Share it. Whether it's through a blog post, whether it's through videos, in your stories, in your post, or your social media, let people know the why behind your business. ¿Por qué haces lo que haces? Es importante que la gente sepa por qué haces lo que haces. Why do you do what you do? So that when customers understand you, they understand la pasión que traes, the passion you bring, la tradición, the tradition, la tradición atrás de tu brand, right? The tradition behind your brand. It's all about who you are. The more they know about who you are, which, by the way, the story of that for me is really tough, because my coaches are saying you have to make sure you're in your stories 3 to 5 times a day. I'll be lucky, I'll be honest with you. I'll be lucky if I do 1 story a day, right? 1 story a day, because I personally believe number 1, I don't look good. Number 2, I'm getting too old. Number 3, nobody cares. I'm kind of an introvert, right? I don't like sharing everything. Do you want to know about it? Do you want to know about everything? Do you want to know what I look like when I get up? Do you want to know what I do as soon as I get up? Really? Like, how many times do I have to share what I do, right? It's like, I don't know. So what happens is that I want you, when customers understand that passion and the tradition behind your brand, what you do. I'm passionate about teaching others. I'm passionate about helping you grow your business. I'm passionate about teaching you what are the softwares, what are the platforms that you need to get finally out of that 5-figure income and skyrocket to 6 figures. Las 6 cifras para ti, I know you are capable of it. But when people know how you feel and how you bring them into your personal passion and your personal, stories, there's a connection made. And when that connection is made, they're loyal followers. They become loyal followers, ¿verdad? But amigas chulas, hermosas, while we're embracing our culture and our identity, it's crucial to do so with sensitivity and respect. Ojo, mucho cuidado que cuando empieces a hablar, que tengas el respeto que se merece tu cultura. Always. We're living, amigas chulas hermosas, we are living in a beautifully diverse world, and it is our responsibility, es nuestra responsabilidad to celebrate our differences, to celebrate our heritage in ways that honor its roots and educate others. It's so sumamente importante que celebremos quién somos, nuestra cultura, que celebremos todo lo que en realidad somos. Que no le tengamos vergüenza. Don't be embarrassed of who you are and where you came from. I don't care how many people tell you. I've been told that I shouldn't identify myself as a Latina, as an Hispanic. I shouldn't speak Spanish. I've been told that since I was 4 years old. My kindergarten teacher told me, my first grade teacher told me, my third grade teacher told me, my fourth grade teacher was the first one, Mrs. Engelbrecht, that said to me, honey, you speak 2 languages. You're smarter than the average bear. When she said that to me, I was like, ooh, hey, no one's ever said that to me. Well, now here I am, Marti Angel, your host to the Mujer de Éxito Unbounded, saying to you, tú eres hermosa. You have a superpower. Tú hablas 2 idiomas, tú entiendes 2 culturas. That's your superpower. Do not hide away from it. So here's your takeaway, right? Being an educator, I summarize everything. So here's your takeaway. This is what I want you to really focus on. Your bilingual abilities are your superpowers. Your cultural heritage is part of your superpowers. These are not just parts of you that you can compartmentalize and put away, but these are parts of you that you should never put away. These are parts of you that are part of who you are. Son parte de quien tú eres. As I said before, they are your superpowers in the business world. More and more, we're noticing the importance of having a superpower in the world of business. Whether you're a network marketer, whether you're an affiliate marketer, whether you are a brick and mortar business owner, whether you're an online business owner, your superpower, tu poder, es tu habilidad de hablar 2 idiomas o más. Your superpower is the ability to speak 2 languages or more. And remember, by integrating these elements into your brand, who you are, you're not just selling a product or a service. You're offering an experience. Ask yourself when you're talking about your product, let's say like me, I love the skincare that I actually get to share, right? My product partner has an amazing skincare line that I would not dream of living without. It has made my skin, my pores look smaller, my skin, you're looking at me and you're thinking, wow, she looks young. If you know how old I am, you're probably thinking she looks young. So think about that. Offer, an experience. Do you want to look younger? Do you want your skin to be more supple? Do you want to feel your skin smooth? Offer an experience to the world, to the community, to the customers that you're serving. And in a market that is crowded with more of the same, being authentically you is what will make you stand out, because only you can do what you do. Let me again share with you this little story. Okay, I'm a network marketer, right? I'm not the only network marketer. I mean, the company is $1 billion strong. It's been around for 25 years, and still it's new to almost everybody. But of all the people that are involved, I bring in a set of gifts, talents that others don't have, because I'm me, yo soy yo. And that's so important. So I hope, it is my hope that you begin to be authentic. Truly identify your values and live by those values. And don't be afraid to share your stories. Hermosas chulas, that's a wrap in today's episode, right? But I hope that you're leaving here an inspired mujer to wield your superpowers with pride and purpose. ¿Se están listas para conquistar el mundo? Are you ready to take over the world? Be who you are. I always have this thing inside my head, this little story inside my head. So my grandmother had a period of time where she was dating, and I, must have been about 15 years old. And she inadvertently got mixed up with this man who she really liked, but he was an alcoholic. Now, during his sobriety, he could only speak Spanish. So when he was sober, you'd ask him, can you speak English? And he'd say, no puedo, no entiendo. No, I can't. I don't understand. But let me tell you, as soon as he got some beers in him, all of a sudden, he would speak English just like me, right? And so clear. He would just say, be yourself, gosh darn it, be yourself. And it was no accent. So that's what I'm going to take. You're going to take that away. I'm going to take those words and I'm going to share them with you. Be yourself, gosh darn it. Be yourself. Si estás lista para conquistar el mundo, acuérdate que tú eres única. Acuérdate que tú tienes el poder de hacer una diferencia con muchas gentes. Why? Because I, Marti Angel, the Latina Biz Coach, believes in you. Yo creo en ti. I know the world is ready for what you have to offer. So make it good. Share who you are. And remember, if you're watching me and you made it this far on the Coach Marti Angel YouTube channel, give me a subscribe, hit that bell, subscribe, and drop a comment below saying, hey, yes, yo soy mujer. Yes, whatever it is, send some love my way. And if you're listening to me, wherever you listen to your favorite shows, don't forget to subscribe. Download the episode, because that's how the metrics work. The more that you download it, listen to it, then you can just, download it and throw it in the trash or whatever you want to do. But for more heart-to-heart talks, come to the Mujer de Éxito Unbounded podcast. And here, my friends, you will get tips and tricks to take your business to the next level. We'll also have some heart-to-heart talks. Y hasta la próxima, hermosas chulas. You guys are my super héroes, right? You guys are my sheroes. All of my cultura. Estoy aquí para brindarles el apoyo, abrir mi corazón para ustedes. Stay fearless, stay fabulous, and stay true to you. Have a beautiful day, everybody. And remember that there are freebies down below wherever you're listening to. Please find me on social media at Marti Angel _ELC for Empowering Latina Coach. Say hello, and I will see you. And you will hear me on the next episode of Mujer de Éxito Unbounded. Have a beautiful day, everybody. Namaste.